The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin. Now, Darrell Martin.
All right, folks, we'll come on here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I'm your host, Darrell Martin, right here on TFNN. And today's Fed Funds Day. Let's check out where the markets are at and then get right on into it. Right now we have the S&P, basically all the indices, just hovering around there. We get the S&P down 3, the NASDAQ down 3.5, the Russell's down 7.2, the Dow's currently down 47 points. Right there, we got gold is down 6 points on the day. Silver's down 1%, moving quite a bit, along with copper up over 1.5%. Oil is up 1.5% on the day. Let's go ahead and look at natural gas. Is down about 0.5%. Corn and soybeans pretty flat on the day. Not a big ag day, being Fed Funds Day. And then we go over to the currency pairs. We got euro dollar very quiet, up 8 pips right now. Pound dollar at 59. So actually a bit of a run right there. We got Aussie dollar up 20. Euro yen's down 14. US yen's down 16. Pound yen's up 48. Dollar CAD up 7, and dollar franc down 14. So across most of the currency pairs, pretty flat. Not a big surprise. So, again, it is Fed Funds Day. The announcement's going to come out here at 2 o'clock, right? And then we have the press conference at 2:30. So, if you don't know what that is, it's basically one of the biggest moving events of, trading, period. So, really in the world, because it affects everything. But no, you're going to get the statement at 2 o'clock. That's going to come out with the rate. No change is expected on the rate. The big piece of this will be, of course, the statement, but also, even more importantly, the economic projections. Okay? And so the economic projections will be coming out, and then Bernanke's going to come on at 2:30, and the press conference and the fun starts from there. But it'll go crazy as soon as it happens, and then we get even more volatility when he comes on. So a few things to be aware of, to think about for this right here. Let me pull up some of my notes that I made. And we expect the markets to be pretty sluggish, maybe a bit of a move in the morning and then go flat. That's pretty much what's going on. And just to be careful on the chop leading into it. Of course, we're going to talk about how to take advantage of the flat market, right, on this show. From the research I did, about 2/3 of analysts actually believe that Bernanke is going to announce tapering today. Wow. So, of course, more majority of the time they're wrong. And if 2/3 believe that he's going to announce tapering, 1/3 believes he's not. Okay? If he does taper, the amount that is expected between the mortgage-backed securities and the treasuries is between 10 and 20 billion. And one of the big reasons they think he can announce it today is because there is not a press conference scheduled for October. And they now, why would maybe he not do it? What would he maybe change? Well, one thing that's happened is he said they wanted the unemployment rate to decrease to 6.5%, and the unemployment rate has dropped pretty good, but it didn't drop due to improving conditions and more people being hired. It dropped due to people dropping out of the labor force. So there's also a possibility in those projections in that statement that they may actually state that they're going to drop that unemployment rate number down to 6. So to help adjust for people just dropping out. So 0.5% lower, which would mean more unemployment must drop before they would continue tapering. The projections, they're going to look at long-term projections. That's going to have a big impact. The housing guidance is going to have a big impact as well. And then again, there'll be the press conference at 2:30. So what can we do to take advantage of this? Well, we're going to be looking at 6 currency pairs, okay? We're going to be looking at Aussie dollar, euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar CAD, dollar franc, and dollar yen. Those are the pairs we're going to be looking at for this trade. And, some of them are, volatile, some of them are not, but we want to see, what's fallen in line already with our expected stats, and what are the stats we have going forward, and what trades can we put on to take advantage of really just the lack of volatility. And that's the big thing, is we want to take advantage of the lack of volatility. And we're a little bit into the hour already, and I have stats for 60 minutes and 30 minutes. And so what I'd like to do is go in and sort of look at that and talk about what those stats are. The Aussie dollar on average, okay, an hour before expiration, the high to low is 20 pips. Okay, and we already had a pretty big run on the Aussie dollar itself. So 90 minutes before, let me see the stats, usually it's 25 pips. And we already got a pretty decent size move. So right here we can see, you know, if we go into 1230, 93.54 up to 93.70, you know, we already got a pretty big move. So 65, you know, we got about 15 pips of that. And so we're at a pretty good point where it would really be breaking out of its averages to go. But we do see that there's a bit of a trend there. So just, you know, be aware of that. But we got 25 pips 90 minutes before. We have 35 pips on the euro dollar. Okay. We have 40 pips average range on the pound. We have 30 pips average on the dollar CAD. 40 pips average on the dollar franc. And we have 30 pips average on the dollar yen. Okay. So those are the basic stats for 90 minutes before. High to low is the range that you're usually going to get on the pairs. But we're obviously past the 90-minute point. So now we're going to go ahead and go into the 60-minute point. And if we can't find a trade, we'll also look at the 30 minutes as well. Okay? On the 30 minutes, what we got here is, on the 60 minutes, the Aussie dollar is 20, the euro dollar is 30. The pound dollar is 35, the dollar CAD is 25, the dollar franc is 35, and the dollar yen is 25. So how can I use the scanner to help me with this? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, pull up the diagnostic scanner. If you don't have it, get access to it over on TFNN's homepage there, and reset all my filters. And then I'm going to set this to 65 to 95 on my risk. And I need these expiring basically when that announcement's coming out, so here within the next hour. Okay, because I only want 2 o'clock expirations. And I need to select the currencies that we have the stats on. So we got Aussie dollar, euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar yen, dollar franc, dollar CAD. And then I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to actually use a few settings. And we may or may not see something that lines up. So they may not all give us a trade. But I'm going to go into simulation settings, and I'm going to click simulate a range. And I'm going to put in that range. So I'm going to put 20 pips. Now this is going to give me a high to low. Okay, and this is like basically assuming a 40 pip range, right? So it needs to be inside this range. It could be 10 pips up, 10 pips down, or 20 up, or 20 down. So I'm just going to put 20 in there right now, just to calculate the number for me without me having to do it. All right, so we're going to put that in there. That's going to take care of Aussie dollar for us. And again, so we'll just go in and put 020. There we go. All right, so click OK on that. That'll calculate that number for us, and let me see the price automatically. I'm going to go down here to euro dollar. I'm going to put in 30 pips. And so we'll put 0.0030. Click OK. We'll go on down here to pound dollar. And I'm going to put in 0.0035. And again, this is high to low. I don't really expect it to go straight up 35 or straight down 35. I just want to know what's the widest possible expectation of the range that we have between now and the announcement. Put dollar CAD, we'll put 0.0025. Click OK. Go on down here, we'll go to dollar franc. Dollar franc, we have 0.0035. Click OK. And then we'll go on down to dollar CAD, and I'll put the range on that, which is 0.0025. And click OK. And now what I've done is I've basically set the scanner up to actually display the price. Now it has one more decimal in there. It has a half decimal in there, but one more tick for me from where the market's currently trading to see if we can get anything even close to where that range is. Now again, you could also cut this in half because this is our high to low range. Okay. Now let's look at what trades do exist and see if we like any of them, and we'll just start going down the list. And we'll pull this up again here at the half hour, so in about 15 minutes, and maybe something else will appear that we like. Right here we got 33.73 and 33.63. Okay, those are the two strikes that we're seeing. So we got like 33.97 and 33.37. That's obviously not within that range at all. We have a 20 pip range right here. We have nothing on Aussie. So I'm going to skip the Aussie and come back to it. Okay, so right now, skipping the Aussie. Hop into the euro. All right, euro, 30 pips. And let's see, I can click on, this is a nice feature, or we can just pull up the chart. Might be easier. Over here. And we'll look at this, see how much I can get on the screen at once for you. So right there, we got the market's currently trading at 33.71. So 83 would only be about 10 pips up. We're also, getting that spike right there. So right now, 33.83. I'm not obviously going to trade that. That's 4 pips away. That'd just be asking to get cremated. And it's really interesting right now. So I'm going to make sure everything lines up. I don't just blindly go, hey, here's the stats, do it. So, diagnostic trading is about having the statistics, the fundamentals, the seasonals, the technicals, all those pieces in place. Okay? And something else that you can do, let me just bring this up on here. Bring it up in a different tab. Is you can also look over at the deviation levels. So we can look at, say, euro dollar and go, are we near a deviation? Well, we have 33.59, that goes to 33.92. So we're not really close to a deviation at the moment. Let's see here. Starting to do a pullback there on the euro. Even on the pound, we're starting to see one. But it's only 10 pips wide. So let's see that. We're not going to do that. 33.83. I don't see a trade yet. And this is a very important thing, is that you do understand that you need to have proper expectations of the trade, and you need to look at what's available. So let's see if we can find one. I'm sort of looking across the board here, and I know there has to be something that we can take advantage of. But we just got to look until we find it. I want the right trade, not just a trade. There we go. Let's look at this one. So US yen. The yen usually moves 25 pips high to low. Okay, this one right here, that's giving me about 15 pips. Still really tight. The volatility is really small right now. So, pretty surprised. We've seen pretty high volatility up to the FOMC. So, I'm pretty surprised that we're not seeing that at the moment. This may give us opportunity. We may have to hop over and just get it ready for a straddle if we're seeing really low IV. But for right now, 98.85 to 99, that's literally, it's only 15 pips. So, it's not within our range. It might be at the 30-minute mark, but it's not right now. And let me go ahead and look at the 30-minute mark just to see if that might be a qualifier if we get that close. Okay? So 30 minutes, 16 pips is actually going to be okay at the 30-minute mark. So 15 to 16 pips. So that actually could be a possible trade here in about 10 minutes, being the 9900 and the 98.85. Okay? But we'd be jumping the gun a little bit if we hopped in on it right now. We can look at dollar yen, sort of see how it's trading. And, it's moving pretty fast right now, so I'd definitely be waiting before I hopped in on that one. And but we're getting some big moves. Let's see. Let's go on over here. Let's check out dollar franc. We're getting 10 ticks on that. Now, what does this mean? Why am I saying we're only getting 10 ticks? Well, what I'm looking at over here on the left side is this is where this says 92.40 and this says 92.30. Well, if I bought the 92.30, that means I'm saying it's going to stay above 92.30. If I sold the 92.40, I'm saying it's going to stay below 92.40. But that's only 10 pips wide. So right there, I'm not seeing a trade. But we'll keep going. We're going to have a straddle or strangle if we don't get a butterfly. But we'll see if we can get some butterflies on. Stay right there. We'll be right back after this break.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzamento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Investors, Taz Market Research delivers to its subscribers expert commentary on the analysis of 15 different markets each day. Get this invaluable and timely information through the daily market research videos Taz Market Research produces each day before 9 a.m. The video analysis will include reports on currencies, interest rates, indices, metals, energies, grains, and more. You'll be able to gauge where high profitability setups are in each of the markets. Receive a free 2-week trial subscription to Taz Market Research videos on the front page of TFNN.com. Darrell takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
All right, folks. Welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. So we're going here. We're looking at these butterflies, trying to see what kind of trade we can get going right here, and there's just a lot of movement, and this is abnormal. I had the stats on how far the markets move, and have done this many, many times live. Done it right here on the air. The last 2 FOMC statements. You can check out the TFNN archives and put them in there, and we don't see the market move this much. But so it's almost like somebody putting the den over there. It's like there's a leak, and yeah, I'd almost agree. You don't see trends like this leading up to FOMC. It's like one of the quietest times out there, and so I'm going to keep watching. And but so far, I am seeing nothing that would justify doing a butterfly trade right now. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is we're going to hop over here, and we're going to look the other direction. Okay, so I'm going to hop in on this. We're going to look at the spread scanner first, because I do prefer spreads when possible. And we're going to see if there's any good straddles or strangles. And let me pull up the stats on that. So let's see here. Stats that usually work out really well. And But, if they're not there, if the trade's not there, I don't take it. So you don't take things just because of seasonality. You don't take things just because of stats. You got to make sure everything lines up. The chart at the end of the day rules. And since we don't see a whole lot, then I'm not taking the trade right now. But, all right, so we got a euro dollar, 30 pips. Pound dollar, or the spike, not pips. Okay, euro dollar usually moves 73 pips after the market. The pound dollar usually moves 71. The dollar franc usually moves 65. The Aussie dollar usually moves 58. And the dollar CAD usually moves 52 pips within 2 hours after the announcement. And understand, that may happen actually when the, how do I put this? It may happen when the announcement comes out, because the announcement comes out, you get movement, and then the press conference comes out, and then you get more movement. So you actually have a couple of chances for that movement to take place up and down. All right, so I got both of them up and running, and I just want to keep, sort of scrolling back and seeing. But yeah, we're just getting 10 pips wide, 10 pips wide. I mean, that's insane. You'd almost be better off just strangling it itself. But with these massive moves happening, it's usually going to quiet down leading up into this announcement. So I just want to see if we're getting that. But, I mean, it's some insane moves. Okay, so over here, we're going to flip this around. We're going to look at the spreads real quick. We pulled them up. We're going to see if anything qualifies. Because the good thing and the bad thing about different instruments, depending upon what you're looking at, is you got to find ones that line up. So let's come over here. We'll just set that to like a max risk. We'll set this to 0.5. See what that brings us to. Okay. And if we're going to do a straddle, this thing needs to basically at least expire after the news announcement. So we'll just put 45 minutes on there. And that'll only give us 3 o'clock expirations. Okay? And then we want to see if we can find, the best trade. So the one that moves the most, euro dollar, 95% of the time moves 50 pips. And the average range from high to low is 73 pips. Again, now this is high to low. Very important to remember. This is not minute before the announcement to high. It's high to low after the announcement. So you want to keep that in mind. If you see it move up 30 and then down 30, you're at that high to low. That's 60. But okay, so let's go in here, and I thought I had euro dollar selected. I did. Okay, Aussie dollar, pound dollar, dollar CAD, dollar franc. Oh, there may not be anything. There we go, euro dollar. Okay, so on the euro dollar, we want to look at 3 o'clock expirations. We want to find a risk that would match up if there is one. And if there's not, then we're also going to look at, this is, I know, going sort of fast, but we're also going to look for possibly inverting the whole thing if we need to. The lowest risk trade we're finding is right here, and it doesn't even make enough. It only makes $59. So euro dollar is, you could say, overpriced at the moment. Simply because of how that's working. So probably not the euro dollar. Now, there's a lot of implied volatility in the 3 o'clocks. Let's go over here to this 3 o'clock. Let's check it out. And let's see here. We need a 250 pip wide. And that is really the best one there. And that's 46 pips. That really is going to put us like at a $60 risk. We'd need to make basically $60 on one side plus the other side's risk. So you're talking about 100 pips on one side or 80 pips on the other. So no euro dollar straddle. We'll keep going when we get back. Stay tuned. Knock them out one at a time.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
With the stock market flirting with all-time highs and volatility back, now is the perfect time for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights. On Monday, June 24th, Tom O'Brien closed out all 5 open positions in his daily newsletter, Market Insights, with all trades being profitable and ranging from a 2.23% gain all the way to more than an 11% gain in just one position for an incredible 32.7% profit combined between the 5 trades. Let Tom O'Brien's years of market experience work for you. If you'd like to see for yourself what kind of trading newsletter Tom O'Brien delivers to his clients each morning, then now is a perfect time to sign up for a 2-week free trial to his daily newsletter, Market Insights. In a volatile market like we currently have, the potential for fast market moves like we've seen recently is a trader's dream. So don't wait any longer. Sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today at the front page of TFNN.com. Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com. Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks. Let's go ahead and check it out, see what we got going on. All right, so I wanted to look at one thing with you was we're going through and we're just seeing if there's any straddles, okay? And I am keeping an eye on the strangles, and I've pulled up the 15-minute or 30-minute data here. So 30 minutes leading into it, we got the much smaller expectations of movements. But again, we've been seeing some very abnormal trends on these pairs. So they are starting to slow down, as you can see. They made this big run, and now everything started to chill out a little bit leading into the announcement. That is what we usually see an hour to an hour and a half before. But now with that in place, let's see on just the quick binary butterfly that expires at the news. So it expires at 2 o'clock if we have a trade. And if we don't take it. Okay? Very, very important. You know, you don't need to place a trade. Okay? I know sometimes you feel like you need to, but you don't need to. So let's see here. There's nothing on Aussie dollars. See, our filters tell us no trades. I don't have to spend any time. I don't have to look at anything. There are no trades for 2 o'clock. Okay? Now if they pop up, there we go. They'll come on the screen live right in front of us. And we got about 13 pips high to low. Okay, so I'm going to click on these two. I'm just going to open them up for the moment. And then we'll come back. Okay? And let's scroll on down. And we got euro dollar. Nothing's showing at the moment. Let's see here. We got pound dollar. 10 pips wide. Pound dollar usually moves 20 pips high to low. Really be taking a lot of risk to put that trade on. The stats are not in your favor. Let's go on down here. I think we're going to find this on most of the markets. So we need like a really low market. That's why I looked at Aussie dollar, because it actually has the smallest range high to low. Let's see, we got 10 pips wide over here on yen. At least it's a decent price on both sides. It's one of the lowest. It's 15 to 16 pips right there. So that could be a couple other ones that you could open up. You could put on your watch list, I guess you could say. And that's the 98.85 and 98.95. Again, I will walk through each one of these before we really do them here. Dollar franc, nothing's showing up. Dollar CAD, nothing's showing up. Okay, so the only possible trades we have right now are Aussie dollar and dollar yen for going into the news. That's the only thing I'm really seeing pop up on our chart at all. Let's see. I'm just going to give it one more scan. I don't like the pound dollar. It has too much volatility. It's 20 pips wide. Average range. So euro dollar is the same thing. So really we got that Aussie dollar and we got that dollar yen. So switch over, you can do live or demo up here. And we'll go back on down to dollar yen. And let's look at the trade before we place it. Okay, actually pay attention to the charts. So somebody asked me yesterday, is it important to look at the chart when you place the trade? I'm like, yes. Some people maybe not, but you should. I would think that yes, you need to be looking at charts when you're placing trades. Otherwise, you're just randomly guessing. Though it may feel like that sometimes anyway. That's why we want to have things in our favor. All right, so right here, if we do this dollar yen, we got 98.95. And we have 98.85. Okay, it's going to be a pretty tight range, but again, we only have 20 minutes until the FOMC comes out. Usually, this is going to make it a pretty tight trade for us. Okay, it's a little tighter than I would like, but it's also the least of the moving pairs here too. So I'm going to put these up right here, show you how this looks. Okay. And so we're getting, it's not bad. We're actually getting, between $10 and $20 on each side as it oscillates up and down. And you can even leg in, by the way. Some people don't think about that. You can leg in on these butterflies, okay? So if we go in on each side, we're looking at bringing in a net income of, what is that, $29, whatever, right there. So if I go in and, I'll put on, say, 5 contracts on each side. Now, it's really important. I don't want to take the total risk on this trade. I went over this in detail yesterday on my show, where I walked through the strategy. So I'll put it in here. I'll place that order on the sell side, okay? And then I'll place this order over here on the buy side, and then now my order's in. Okay, so that piece is done, and I can see right here on the scanner that I'm filled. Okay. And now that I'm in that trade, the next step is I want to go in and I want to put in my exit order. I want to be ready to get out of the trade. Okay, I have to be ready to just bell on this trade. I cannot sit in it if it goes against me. It's sort of like a EPC trade, but we're not talking about the last few minutes here. And it could be like that if we get down to the last 2 minutes. So what do? Well, I just hopped on to the platform and I just click. It's real simple, just bid-ask spread and all that, but I click on the 2 little X's right there. It creates an order in the opposite direction. Okay? And then if I am selling to get out, so in other words, I bought this thing for like $80. I'm going to sell to get out if it gets down to $50. I'm going to put this thing down at like $40. Okay? I'm going to put this one up at $60. So I want to have my stop loss, if you will, ready to go. Okay? So if it hits either side, I'm just going to bell. Just take the loss and move on. Okay? Now, also, this is an option. This is definitely optionable. Is you can go in on your trades, and let's see here if I can show you a good example of this inside the actual platform. Give me 1 second here. And it looks like they're going to be pretty high price. I don't know if I'm going to give up that much, but you do have the choice, the option to like close them out, say like at $4 or something. So should it move up or down? But if it moves up or down that far that you can get out, you probably have lost on the trade. So we're just going to have to watch this one to the end. It has to stay between 98.85 and 98.95. What will we make on the trade if we're profitable? Okay, the amount that we'll make on the trade if we're profitable will be, let's see, $12 on one side and $18.50 on the other side. So we're looking at $30 basically. So $30 on the trade. So we have a $30 profit potential on the trade. Should one side lose, then we'll lose about $30 on that side, and we'll make, most of the profit on the other side, so we'll lose about $20. So we're about at a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio on this trade. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely, again, go on to TFNN, check out the archives page and for the Diagnostic Trading Hour, and look at yesterday's show, because I walked through the entire risk-reward graph in detail on how this trade works. Now I'm going to pin these up, I'm going to keep them, and I'm just going to put them on another monitor so I have them ready. It's one of those strikes, then I got to be ready to go. Okay? Now I can go over here and I can be free to check out a couple other trades, see if anything else is popping up. We might have an Aussie dollar trade. So again, remember I said Aussie dollar is the least volatile out of all the pairs leading up to the FOMC. And we're here in the last 20-25 minutes. So we're going to look at the chart, see if that chart lines up. Still seeing some pretty big moves over here. So it looks big. I guess it's not that big. It's 5 pips. But we're getting about 5 pips up right there. And it's telling me 93.69 and 93.79. It's like right up here. Pretty tight range. It's been within that range, really, for quite a while. Let's see here. So 93.79 right here. 93.69. So right at that floor of that. So it's been right near that range, and we have a trade on there that keeps fluctuating in and out for the 93.79 and 93.69 intraday strikes that expire at 2 o'clock. So that's another possibility you could look at. That trade, you'd only bring in about $21 on the trade. Okay? So that's a possibility for you. But I just want to go over the list so we can see all these. And let's see, we'll go down. Still nothing on euro dollar. Don't expect it. So nothing over here on pound dollar. It's 10 pips wide, so technically there is something, but again, the range is usually 20 pips. So high to low. Now, here's a trick for you that's really helpful on the high to low. It's high to low. So if that's 30 minutes previous, you can go in and you can look and go, okay, well, what has been the high 30 minutes previous? So I can go over here and go, well, if I bring this down and look at, 1330, we're at 59.75. We've already dropped 15 pips. So the expectation is it really shouldn't drop more than another 5 or so from where it's at right now. So if it stays within that 20 pip range. So, you could have a decent trade. It'd be down at 59.66 right down here. If you want to go in on that one, that's where the range would be. So I'm going to plot the ranges, but the trade that we're watching over here, dollar yen's sort of my pick right now. But let's see here. We'll plot this, put price levels. So we got a 59.66, and that one's that's going to bring you about $30 as well on the pound dollar. So let's see. So we got that one, and it goes up to, okay, now you can get about $28 on it, up to 59.76. That's the range it's going to put you in, okay, for high to low. And that's for the next 15 minutes. So we're only at half the time left for that range to actually, happen. And I want to see if there's another trade, and then we're going to hop over to straddles and see if there may even be a binary butterfly into the news that we might check out. U.S., we got that one covered. Let's see, we'll go over here to dollar franc, nothing. Dollar CAD, nothing. Okay, so those are really the only 3 pairs that we found a potential trade on. And for the dollar, and for the lack of volatility, I chose dollar yen, because dollar yen is the second least volatile pair before the FOMC, and it gave me a better payout than Aussie dollar, and the same payout as pound dollar, which is basically as volatile as the euro dollar is. So basically, just looking at all of them put together, that was my favorite choice. So you want to pick the right trade based on all the information put together, and all these could work out, and sometimes I'll do all 6 of them. I'm sort of shocked by the big move we got right into that. Usually we don't get that big of a move, just leading right into it. So I figured I'd back off and only do 1 pair instead of doing all 6 this time. And so if I get hit, I won't cry about it. Okay, so got that trade done and underway. Let's check and see Some of these are going to have a lot of volatility, okay, leading into the news. So let's see what we got. I'm going to drop off the ones that are about to come up, okay? And we're going to look at the ones that expire at 2 o'clock. And see what we got over here. I'm watching that dollar yen really close. It's amazing what 3 pips can mean. But let's see here, just watching it. And by the way, if you get uncomfortable on a trade, there's nothing wrong with just going, you know what, I just don't think it's going to work. I'm going to bail on the trade, whatever. So I want to see. Let's see. What did we get in? We got in at 88. It's at 73 right now. We still have another, like, 35 bucks we can make on this side. So if we see that continue to tick down, we can just top out of one side. It'll cover, and the other side will cover it. So, like, we could take an $80 hit and cover it on the other side. We'll make 80 bucks. So it's not a horrible place to be. But, okay, so let's scroll on down here and look at it. And again, just a reminder. By the way, the chart, the price you want to be looking at, too, is, now I do pull up, like, Thinkorswim charts and everything else. They're really helpful. But one of the charts you want to be looking at over here is the actual Nadex indicative index chart, okay, where they're going in there live calculating settlement, because that's the one that really matters the most. And so if I go in here and look at it, what I can do is I can go down to underlying indicative and go to Forex, and then I can pull up the dollar-yen Nadex indicative index, okay? So this is where they're calculating high to low, putting all the pieces in there. And so now I can actually do this and, you know, pull up a 5-minute or a 1-minute or whatever I want to, and look at it right in here, because this is the price, again, that matters as far as my trade is concerned, okay? So watch that one, and if it gets there, hit the button, because we're getting really, really close. Okay, I think we might hit it. We'll see. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to get ready for the next trade, so we can make some money here. We're very close. So we're there on the Thinkorswim chart. We're not there on the Nadex indicative chart. So that's why I'm watching both of them at the same time. Let me show you what I mean. Like right here, we're like at 8.5, 5, where, like we hit and went below 8.5 there on the other one. So I want to get really precise when it comes right down to the wire on these trades. And let me pull up the other ones. A little bit different show because you got to watch everything live as you're doing it. And right here, what can we see that we can take advantage of? I'm looking for a possible binary butterfly into the news. And into the news means once it expires like at 3 o'clock. So it would need to be wide enough, okay, to account for going into the news again at 3. So let's see what we got over here. And that thing is just like right on the line on the indicative. They're like one tick away. If it hits it, we'll get out on one side. The other side is going to make max profit. So we're good on the other side. All right, so you should have hopped out by now on the short side. The long side should be a max profit. All right, we'll be back right after this break.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain the this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.6% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. And all 6 of those winning trades had been initiated no earlier than just the previous month. With the 600th weekly Gold Report issue fast approaching, Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began, and right now you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber, as this volatile gold market provides trading opportunities after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting TFNN.com.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
All right, so we still got that trade to go, and we'll see. It's really close. And, it's just like right on that line, but you got to have your finger ready and on the trigger. Let's go ahead. We're checking out right now, looking at possible straddle going into the news here. We have $1 franc. It'd be $40 on one side, $15 on the other. That's going to give us a $55 risk. That's higher than our allowable risk on the $1 franc. So no trade for straddle on $1 franc. We got about a $65 risk up here on the dollar yen. Nope, no, they didn't have enough consistent stats to be able to trade it. Dollar CAD, if we go into that, we'll get dollar CAD. The most we can risk on that is 36. I doubt that's going to happen. If we go over here to pound dollar, then what we can see on the pound dollar, looking for $47 risk. Definitely too much risk on this. So really just not enough volatility. Yeah, definitely should be out of that trade on the other side there on the dollar yen by now. And then looking over here, trying to see what other potential choices on the straddle side. And if we don't see a trade, we don't take it. Again, don't just grab the trade because you want to trade. Make sure the right trade is there. And let's look over here. Trying to see if we can find a good one. So we got thrown off in the market today with this massive run that usually does not happen at all. And let's see here. I'm going to look over, and we're going to check out binaries to see if we see a good binary string. Sometimes you can get them cheaper. So we're going to see if any good possibilities exist. And let's see, what do we got over here? Pound dollar, average range 71 pips. If we go in here, let's throw this on, because usually this will fly in a direction, so 0.071. Put that on. And I'm checking two things. First, I'm looking at a possible butterfly, as funny as that sounds. But it'd take me down to 9,300. Yeah, that's a little low. Then up to 94.43. So that's all the way the high, the low. So that'll only be like $20 risk, and that thing will move really fast. Let's see here. Yeah, some people, I got a private message saying that they're staying in, and it's moving back up. So if you're lucky and it worked out for you, that's good. Let's see here. Let's check this out. Try to see if we can find a good trade. Okay, let's go and let's flip it around. Let's do some strangles. Okay? Strangles are going to be 5 to 35. Let's see if we see anything on the list for a strangle. No good iron butterflies are showing on the board. And what do we got over here? We got a strangle at 3 o'clock. Expiration. We got a range down to 9,300. That's as low as we expect it to go. We're looking at about a $20 risk on both sides. So honestly, I'm just telling you right now, there's an insane amount of implied volatility built into the market right now for 3 o'clock, but there is nothing built in for the 2 o'clock. So making it pretty tough to do either one of the trades right there. And usually we don't see that dynamic, but there might be one trade we can get on at the last minute. Just trying to look and see if there's a good set. Dollar CAD maybe, but let's see here. Yep, dollar yen exactly is in the money right now. Dollar yen. Let's see if there's a dollar franc trade, because even though it's a lower mover, it might have a little less volatility built in. The only way this is going to work if you held it to expiration, and that's really not my trading style. So, because you'd be risking like $20 on both sides. $18 here, $17 there. That's like about $35 risk. Be pretty difficult to do. All right, well, not as exciting as I would hope it would be, but if you learned anything, hopefully the one thing you did take away is to be careful and don't just follow the stats, but use the stats to see if there is a good trade, and if there is one, then grab it. And if you're still in, you've got a chance to get out at break even on the dollar yen, and it might finish in the money. I'll keep you posted as well on that. All right, y'all stay right there. We'll be back for another show right after this.
Questions are the answer. You want a better life? Ask a better question. My driving force in life is, how can I become the intelligence behind financial freedom? It's why I take massive action. It's why I've invested over 10,000 hours and thousands of dollars to create the answer, the ultimate money machine. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, and on Friday, September 27th, I'll be hosting a one-day online master trader course, The Ultimate Money Machine, where I'll teach you the exact same trading strategies that I use every day when trading the markets and advising my newsletter subscribers. Learn how to precisely identify the market's next move, when to pull the trigger by letting the market commit to you before you commit to it, and how to manage your trade to maximize your results, just as we did in the month of August, when I advised my newsletter subscribers of 11 new trades resulting in 1 loss and a combined profit of 129%. Our next move? It's days away. The cost of this course, $595, less than $2.50 per trading session over the next year. If you're looking for the answer, it's the Ultimate Money Machine. All the details on the front page of TFNN.com.